You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy.
And now, the hunt for the perfect album.
Hello and welcome back to the hunt for the perfect album with B Dizzle and Dave. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm nervous. This is the first week I've been really nervous. I had a feeling that you'd really like Guppy, but this week I don't know. I don't know, mate. This is one of my favourite albums. We are Drag It Up by the Old 97's is what I tasked you with last week. It's their 2004 album. Must have been like their fifth or sixth album. I think that almost all their albums are perfect, but I chose this one because this was their first album that I'd listened to from start to finish and fell in love with. There's arguments to be made. Fight Songs is another great album that was previous to this, but this is what I landed on, and it's made me very nervous. So let's get into it then. You got a look on your face like you didn't like it.
No, it was good. Look, I didn't love every track all the way through. Okay. I didn't dislike any.
But this might be our first album that you would skip tracks on, though.
I would skip tracks. I think probably much like you with Resisting Calm, there are tracks on here that will definitely be going into playlists.
Yeah.
And there are tracks that I may never listen to again.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like them, but they just didn't wow me. So I'll start at the top. First track, Won't Be Home, I liked, but it didn't kind of wow me.
Really? And I think it's a really strong start to the album. That track is one of the reasons I picked this one.
It's not boring. And I did like it, but it didn't sort of wow me. And I was sort of like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of good. I kind of like it, but I don't know why you rave about this album.
You're a bottle cap away from pushing me too far. Well, the problem's getting big, and it's a compact car, so I won't feel so bad. I did all I could do. Now I'm on a wounded knee, and we're at a Waterloo, so please get out of my car. I was born in the backseat of a Mustang on a cold night in a hard rain, and the very first song that the radio sang was I won't be home no more.
But then Moonlight I really liked.
Interesting. That's one of my lesser favourite ones. like to me, there's kind of... I loved the whole album, obviously, but to me, there's like 5 tracks maybe that were like the key reasons that I thought Dave might like this album. And it's interesting. Won't Be Home is definitely one of them. That's one of my favourite tracks.
Okay. See, I've got about 5 tracks that I really, really liked.
Might be completely opposite.
I mean, it's close. It's probably just outside the top 5, I guess. Yeah. But Moonlight I really liked.
There was a girl back in my town, but I shouldn't bring up what I can't put down. She was above reproach in every way. But one day I left the town I'm from. As hard as I tried, she would not come along. She left me alone in every way.
The third track, Borrowed Bride, I really, really liked.
Yeah, I like Borrowed Bride.
I've got a real soft spot for wordplay and cheesy puns and things.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I love The Killers, all the things you've done, which has got that fantastic line, I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier, which on paper is just fucking terrible, but somehow it's perfect in the song. And this one as well. what is it? Life comes apart at the seams, it seems.
The cat on her mind, the ring in her tan line, the lowering lids, the perfume is white wine. She's certain her karma is good. Glass houses won't burn out, but you know this would. So take her inside, she's your borrowed bride, and you'll never guess how much she has not cried. Life comes apart at the seams, it seems. Life comes apart at the seams.
And as soon as I heard that line, I was like, that's amazing. I love that line so much.
He's a great songwriter, Rhett Miller. I think his lyrics are... Actually, I almost considered giving you one of his solo albums instead, because he's released 3 solo albums.
Okay.
That are a little bit more on the poppy side, less on the alt country, probably more on the power pop.
Okay. Weird.
And I think you'd like them a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued to hear more of their albums, because the songs that I liked enough that I kind of want to see if their other stuff is like those, or if it's sort of like the tracks that I thought were a bit more...
They're actually quite diverse. Like for an alt... Like I use the words alt
This
country.
album's diverse.
Well, yes, it is. There are some songs that are quite heavy and rocky, and then there's a lot of very... and in fact, so far you seem to like the softer ones better.
Well, my favourite track on the album is the next one, Smokers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Which
very kind of
to me
pubby.
Well, to me, it's like, I don't know where they're based, but I'm assuming they're somewhere in sort of heartland, southy.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smokers to me is where they go south of the border. It's got a... I don't know if you remember Tito and Tarantula, the bunch of Robert Rodriguez's friends. They're the house band from Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And this kind of gave me a little bit of that Mexican.
Yeah.
I almost expected a bit of, you know.
A smoker dragging up all my extra store. She singing, smoking, saving, but all I could afford. I'm just smoking up what I got heavy into, dragging up, coughing up, sat up, wondering where you're going to. Oh, for your return I drink. I wouldn't burn and call your name, but you never.
I loved that track so much. That's probably my favourite.
Too.
But then from there, that we go to the next one, which I'm not going to be able to pronounce. But
Koala. You don't like Koala?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
But we go from south of the border, almost Mexican, real dirty rock, to something which sounds like it's from mid-70s Paul Simon in, me and Julio down in the schoolyard era. It's like, is this the same band?
Yeah, very diverse. Koala is one of Noosk's favourite songs of all time.
I loved
that
it.
track.
It's so...
I put my microwave on and I cook my chicken ravioli.
My chicken ravioli. Last 10 years of my life I've been feeling kind of lonely. I don't do love, I don't do women named Hannah, and I don't do red-haired girls from Louisiana. I'm suffering from a kind of indecision about what I'm gonna watch on television. And I'll dream the night of dancing in Coahuila with a little brown-haired girl and her tequila.
So yeah, that run from Moonlight, Borrowed Bride, Smokers, and what is it, Koala?
Koala, yeah.
Koala. Those 4, I was just like, fuck, now I get it.
Yeah,
what
okay.
a run. They're all so different, but I love all of them.
Yeah.
Then it kind of it slows right down.
It does, yeah.
I
the
did
next
like
2 tracks are very
Blinding
slow.
Sheets of Rain, I did really like.
Yeah.
Not as much as the 4 before, but it was like, oh, okay, change of pace. Slow it down. I like this. It's proper country.
Yes, that one is their most country song on this album, I think.
But I liked it. The next one, Valium Waltz, kind of, if I was going to skip, I might.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. Don't get sad, but...
No, that's... Yeah. It's not one of my favourite tracks of theirs. This band have been going for over 40 years at this point. So you're not going to love every single song in their entire discography. So I'm not mad at you for... I'm not a massive fan of Valium Waltz either.
Checking you out. Wander around her, but never sleep with her. Watch her through windows as she pours herself out. Scoring her shipwrecks with fiddles and dobros. Laugh at the plainclothes, police the crowd. Carry her under like water, ether. Spirit her off when the music's too loud. And it's getting all over the face of the daughter of the mayor of Marble Falls when she winds up and down.
I did like what is it, In the Satellite Rides a Star? I like that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
The New Kid, I think you had that in your countdown.
That was in my indie tracks. Yeah,
I mean, I said Smokers was my favorite. That's obviously the star of the album. It's kind of stands head and shoulders above the others. As okay, this is your single. Yeah, if you're going to, that's. I already liked that, and as soon as it played, I was like, "Oh, I already like this. I know something," because it was on the in your list from before.
Yeah. I think the one thing that ties
cracker.
the whole album together, which I think I mentioned on that countdown, is the production style of this album. Every song, even though they are quite musically diverse, the production on them all sound like you're sitting in a honky-tonk. They've got a certain kind of echo to them. They're not great quality. I think that there's a really nice production going on there.
The new kid, he's got money, the money I deserve. He's got the goods, but he's not good for his word. I should be rolling in it. I've been here working still. As for the justice, no one knows where and when. I'm gonna toil away until my judgment day. I will be rewarded for the good things I did. Believe me, every year there is another one here. Don't you see, I used to be the new kid. I am sorry to say you'll get carried away.
Yeah, they don't strike me as a stadium band. This is a pub. This is a band that plays in a bar,
100%.
and that's where they're at their best.
Yeah.
After the New Kid.
No. No.
If I was gonna skip any of them,
don't say Bloomington.
I'm gonna say Bloomington.
No, Bloomington's one of my all-time favorites.
Why?
I think that the next run of three, in fact, Satellite Rides a Star, New Kid, Bloomington, Adelaide, and Friends Forever. To me, I think that's the strongest run on the album.
Bloomington and Adelaide were probably the two I didn't grab me at all.
Oh, Bloomington, Bloomington, when the rest of the world is over and done. Oh, you'll still be the only one I'll ever love. Bloomington, in a park, they doubled as a parking lot. There was music, it was free. Oh, the girl in pink took a sip of my drink and laid down next to me. Yeah, the way she
really didn't grab me. Wow. Friends Forever and No Mother I liked. It finished strong. Don't be upset with me. But yeah, if I was the three that I would skip if I was going to skip. So there you go. There's only 3 songs on the whole out of 13 that I'd skip.
So there's 10 that you wouldn't skip. Yeah.
10 that I wouldn't skip. The 3 that I would skip are Valium Waltz, Bloomington, and Adelaide.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I love Bloomington and Adelaide. I think they're great. For me,
I didn't dislike them. They're perfectly fine.
yeah, okay. Yeah,
But I liked everything else.
yeah, okay.
And so I said there's 5 that I'd probably add. There's probably more than 5. Moonlight, Borrowed Bride, Smokers, Koala, or whatever it's called. New Kid, probably No Mother, and Won't Be Home. All of those will probably make their way into rotation at some point.
Yeah. So we've said, obviously, they're very diverse even on this album alone, yet alone from album to album. In general, though, do you think that you got a decent sense of their style, and would you say...
Yeah,
that
like I said,
overall
I'm
style
keen
you
to
would
listen to
enjoy?
more albums. I will go and listen to some more albums and more of their stuff, because I love a good pub band, and they are obviously a very good pub band. The songs are well written. There's some great lyrics in there.
Yeah.
It's foot tapping stuff. I like it.
Were there any songs that you listened to more than once?
I listened to the whole album like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
But I didn't listen to any more than any of the others. I literally did the run.
Did
through.
the whole... Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I did it. We listened, and I listened with the kids as well. We listened to the whole thing on the way through on the drive up to the Blue Mountains. Then we listened to the whole thing on the drive back. I was like,
But
can
nothing-
we pick songs? No, fuck off.
So nothing grabbed your attention enough, though, that you were like, oh, yeah, I'll listen to that again.
No, I wanted to kind of treat it as an album because there was such variation between them. I wanted to try and get a sense of it as a whole.
Did your kids enjoy any of it?
Yeah, they definitely like the New Kid. Can't remember if they commented on it. I mean, they were mainly bitching and moaning about how long the drive was. And why are we going somewhere? Can't we just stay home and play PlayStation? No, we're going to go and see people and be social.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you didn't hate it. You know,
No, far from it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't have to listen to it 4 times. I could have listened to it one time.
So, 2 questions then. We actually haven't done this before, but we probably should going forward. Overall, out of 10, how would you score the album?
Ooh. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
All right, so if Guppy is an 8.5, which it is, I would probably say a 7, which sounds harsh, but I'm factoring in the 3 songs that I didn't like much.
7 is fine. That's fine.
I think New Kid has to be the track that I nominate to go into the mix.
Okay.
I haven't done that for Guppy yet. I still need to. I want to listen to it again now that I have it on vinyl.
Oh, you did end up getting it on vinyl?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But I couldn't not. It literally... Because I do normally, this most recent trip's not a good example. I do normally let the kids take turns picking songs. And Ayla is now picking Guppy as her first pick every time it's her turn. So
I'm glad. Nice. All right. Well, I'm glad that you at least got a couple of tracks out of it that you enjoy, and hopefully you'll pick up some other old 97 stuff and see how you feel about that. But all right, not the winner I was hoping it would be. What do you got for me next week?
Well, I felt like I'd shortchanged you with a 4-track EP, so I thought I'll over-deliver this time to make up for it, because I know you probably felt 14 minutes. It's only 4 songs. So I'm going to give you an album that I grew up with, and a lot of people my age grew up with. You won't have done, because you're not my age. You're a spring chicken. But anyone who was a kid in the 70s, if their parents had records lying around, for sure they had Tubular Bells, and for sure they had Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
Okay,
which is
I know the War of the Worlds.
Well, it is a... It's actually not a musical, because there was never a stage production. It was just an album, but it is a musical rendition of that story.
Yeah. Okay,
so he assembled...
Concept albums obviously very big around that time. We had
it's kind of...
and...
Yeah, well, it's kind of renowned as the greatest of all prog rock concept albums.
Okay.
He assembled. He's got. He's sort of the composer, and he wrote all the music, and then he assembled kind of a who's who of luminaries of the time. You've got Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, David Essex, who was a fucking megastar at the time, Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues, Julie Covington, who at the time certainly was the Broadway female ingenue. She was the star of all of your big musicals.
Yeah.
And they're all sort of playing various characters, and the songs sort of tell the story of the War of the Worlds.
All right. I'm curious. You've
So-
piqued my interest.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've been listening to this thing for, decades and never get tired of it. So no pressure.
All right. Well, there you go. Listen along
If
with
you
me,
don't like
listeners,
it, you will be killing one of the fatted calves of my youth, but whatever.
All right. I'm excited. That's what we'll get to next week. All right. Thank you all for joining us on this hunt for the perfect album. And, well, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
I was a debater, was not a stoner or an inline skater, was not a player nor a player hater. I was just a bookworm on a respirator. Who's to say that's wrong? I was in the chess club, didn't have a swimming pool, much less a true love. Didn't have a dalliance, much less a hot tub. I was just a brain whose brain would never let up. Who's to say that's wrong? 12 years after 5 years, we're lucky to survive. Hang in there, friends, forever, in memory far away. Hang in there, friends, forever, in memory far away. Went for the football team, found out the hard way you can't live your dad's